Alright, welcome back to my two-hand Frost Death Knight DPS video. My quick guide on pretty much how to do the rotation. So there's not a whole lot to it. It's really just keeping your wits about you and paying attention to what's going on. It's very proc dependent, so you really have to pay attention to that. A couple skills that you want to keep handy. I've got mine kind of spread out, so organize it how you want. Got some weird stuff going on here, but anyway, so the main thing is you want to have your Frost Strike, your Howling Blast, and your Obliterate, you know, on easy places to remember where they're going to be. So if you're a single target, you're pretty much going to be opening up with just your regular attacks, and I like to kind of wait until I get a Killing Machine proc before I start in with my Obliterates, but you don't really have to. You can pick it up, you can start off with Obliterates, but you want to keep usually at least one Obliterate open for a Killing Machine proc, or at least try to keep, you know, something available so that you can bring up your runes for an Obliterate for a Killing Machine proc. So it's kind of hard to, I don't know if I explained that very well, but I'll just show you what I mean in a minute here. As far as cooldowns go, you have your Pillar of Frost, which you can pretty much use on cooldown. There's really not, it's not a very, it's only a 1 minute cooldown, so you can use it just constantly, pretty much. You could also use it, you could save it for burn periods, but it just makes more sense to just keep using it from my experience. You also want to make sure you got your blood tap put down somewhere and you're paying attention to that, unless you have Runic Corruption, in which case don't worry about it. Outbreak is a good thing to have if you don't have Necrotic Plague. If you do have Necrotic Plague, don't worry about it, because Howling Blast pretty much gets covered. The other thing is Anti-Magic Shell. It's going to help you out building up some runic power if you take some damage from spell-based attacks. And then you also have your Army of the Dead, which is good for opening attacks or during burn phases, whichever one you want to use it for. Typically during a burn phase is when you want to pull out the Army of the Dead. But it's also not bad for building up your initial runic power. And that's pretty much... also, obviously, you want to have Soul Reaper, because once the mobs start getting down to 35%, that's when you're going to want to start jamming that button to make sure that you get that extra damage in. And that's pretty much it. So without further ado, we'll go into the actual damage here, and for some reason I'm dumb. I press that. So starting off with our auto attacks, just letting some procs build up. Don't really have a whole lot going on, so I'm going to go ahead and hit an Obliterate. Alright, got one in proc, hit Howling Blast, got another proc, Howling Blast again. Every one of these you're going to see up here, we're getting another stack of Necrotic Plague. It jumps up on its own, which is pretty useful. Make sure you're dumping the runic power from your Frost Strikes. That'll, you know, give you more blood taps and it kind of helps you, you know, not end up using or wasting your Killing Machine procs on Frost Strike, which, you know, is bound to happen, you know, eventually during a rotation when you just, because sometimes they just pop up and you don't have time to unpress the button. When you have your I missed it. When you have your diseases about to tick off, for example, I just had my Necrotic Plague tick off. And the best thing to do there is, you know, just go ahead and, you know, burn it off with Plague Leech, because you'll get your 2 runes back, and you can put it right back up. Most of the time, if you're fighting more than one enemy, the stacks will come right back anyway, so not a big deal. And then basically whenever you get a Howling Blast proc, just use it immediately. When you've got a Killing Machine proc, try to get up your Obliterates. See, I'm burning and right there I just wasted a Killing Machine proc with Frost Strike, but not a big deal. You got to burn off that runic power as much as you possibly can so that you can more quickly get those Obliterates out. Also worth mentioning, I'm not using like super good DPS gear. This is actually my tank gear that I'm doing this in. So, you know, all things considered, no raid buffs or anything. Not a particularly bad example, especially since I'm kind of talking through this the whole time, so I can't really concentrate. But we can also do things like use up Pillar of Frost like I mentioned, and then we'll just keep on going. Dump the runic power, dump the runic power. You got your charges built up here, nothing really going on, so we'll just, you know, use them. Of course, when I do that, I get the Killing Machine proc. We're trying to resist the urge to waste the Killing Machine proc on Frost Strike. If you're not doing anything at all, yeah, go ahead and use it. But for the most part, really want to get your Obliterates in on those Killing Machine procs. and then kind of just use Plague Leech and sprinkle in the rest of the stuff as you go. If you're fighting multiple enemies, really not a big deal to just use Plague Leech preemptively, because like I said, you get those stacks back really fast because they'll automatically jump over and you don't have to worry about it. And that's pretty much all there is to it. I'm only doing about roughly 20k right now, so that's not too bad considering there's no raid buffs on me. And like I said, I'm just kind of talking while I'm doing this, so it makes it a little bit more challenging. But it's also, you know, sometimes you'll get lucky and sometimes you won't. So you kind of got to hope that you'll get you'll get your procs and they'll all time in really well. Like there have been times I've done about 50k single target in the mythic dungeons, and there's times when I've done like 40 or 35. You know, it just all depends on, you know, the movement and how things are going, and just your luck with the procs. So that pretty much sums it up. Yeah, I hit about 20k there. So if you guys want, I can do a video showing this actually working in LFR. If not, I'll just not show that. It's up to you guys. But that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, hopefully I'll do a one-handed frost once I get the one-handed weapons available to do that. So I can show you that rotation, because that one is a little bit different in terms of you're using your frost strike for your killing machine proc instead of your obliterate, because it just works out a lot better with the one hand. So thanks for watching again. If you like these, like and subscribe or comment, and that way I can do more videos like this. And also check out my Let's Cheat videos where I show how to do game hacking in a lot of different games like Witcher 3 or Mortal Kombat, or what I kind of turn into Immortal Kombat, but regardless, just stuff to screw around with. So thanks again.